You've got off to a decent start when you've had a few small fish to start and that one decent carp. Every day is different, isn't it, on a peg like this? But, you know, what's going through your head right now?
Well, I'm thinking that £50 is still going to be a very good weight in this peg. Yeah. I feel there's another one where I originally fed. I've just fed the place I think is going to be the best place to catch in the peg. I'm going to try and nick another fish off of this line in the next 5 minutes. Then I'm going to come back and feed my other lines for later on in the match. Yeah. Start to prime those up and then go in what I think is going to be the hot spot.
Yeah.
Now the far bank is definitely going to be the best place to catch for the first sort of 2 hours of this match.
Yeah.
The 13 metre line where I ping pellets usually takes about an hour to build up. So that one I'm going to have to start pinging very shortly if the wind lets me do it.
Yeah. So difficult to operate a catapult in this wind as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But it's gusting and there are lulls, so I think we will be able to feed it on and off. You don't have to feed it continually. The worst thing you can do is feed it continually. You just bring them up in the water and drive them mad.
Yeah.
Roach top there, a bad sign.
We're starting to have a go now,
yeah,
mate, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think it's time I'm going to have to feed me other lines. I know this is going to be my main line, but I can't risk not feeding them. Now I know that I'm going to have a decent weight over there. I'm going to have to look at feeding the other lines. Another reasonable fish. Well, that's 2 carp and 3 F1s nowadays. So. Drop some bait in on the other lines, I think, before I go any further. With 5 metre line, I'm going to feed hemp and corn, and I'm going to loose feed corn over that for the last hour.
Right.
That's where I'm going to, hope to be fishing in the last hour, there or at the edge. Line it up on the other bank with that tree. Have a practice chuck, so I'll get my distance right.
That's a good tip. It's ever so easy to be thrown by hand and dropping about ½ metre short.
Yeah, it is. Same as when I start pinging pellets on the 13 metre line. It's advisable, if you're not sure of your distance, just put a bit of white tape around your pole, short of the far bank, and aim at that white tape on your pole. Yeah. I've been in it a long time and I know where 13 metres is, so I don't do it very often, but if you don't do it, it's a very good tip.
Yeah. How long would you give it now? So you're going to go back out and try and nick some.
I'm going to go to my other spot now, Dave, because that.
Yeah, where you really fancy catching.
Yeah, where I really fancy
catching.
catching.
You've just fed these other lines.
Yeah.
So how long would you give that now before you sort of came back and give it a go?
Well, this one here at 5 metres, I'm going to loose feed a bit of corn over it every 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm going to step it up in like the 4th hour of the match. So that the 5th hour, that's where I'm going to be fishing, right. There or there.
Right.
On this lake, you don't tend to catch that many fish down the edge. You tend to catch more at 5 metres.
And it looks great, doesn't it?
It looks great.
Look really good.
I know, it's one of those lakes you don't catch huge amounts. Unless you're on the M peg 2, that produces a lot of fish down the edge. I think it's because when the southwesterlies blow, they blow that way.
Right.
And they're blowing into the rushes up there. This will be interesting. We'll see if it is the hot spot or not today. There's something there straight away.
Indication there, isn't it?
Straight away. I think it's on its back. Ooh, no, it's on a rush.
It's important to be careful as well. When you're going across there in amongst all that, like, you need to be careful, don't you?
You have to be precise. Yeah. And to be honest with you...
And you're striking, and I've noticed, it's like, there's a real danger if you strike a bit too hard, you end up with your pellet up in
You don't really have to strike, you only have to lift up.
Yeah.
The hooks these days are so sharp, you lift up and it's in.
Well, this has turned into one of those sessions that you described earlier. It's not a massive weight day. But just switching around these lines is definitely proving fruitful now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I've caught a few fish over and then I came back on my closer line and at 13 metres nicked a few F1s but no carp, and now there's some fish starting to blow on this corn line. I think it'll be really productive for the last part of the match. But later the match goes, more chance of catching a big fish here. When I fish this line, I use a strung out rig, very light float. Lay your float in and let the corn flutter down, and often the bigger fish has it as the float settles.
Yeah.
If you sit and wait, it's a smaller fish. But as you can see, there's a lot of blows there now, and I expect to catch quite a few.
Of course, it's important just to keep dripping these bits of sweet corn in as well.
Yeah. Feed it in over an area so there's, plenty of bait in one area. You don't want all your fish on a sixpence.
It's been really interesting watching the 3 different approaches here that, over these last 3 days. I mean, clearly, I think sometimes people, they come to a place like this and because they hear all about big weights, they think they're going to catch them off every peg, and it's just not always the case, is it? No, it's not. You have to, you have to feel your way into pegs. If you know the water and you feel you can attack it, then you can, but if you're not sure, it's much better to feel your way in and build a weight slowly. And getting the maximum out of the peg on the day? Getting the maximum out of the peg, yeah. That's interesting. You spent a lot of time on that middle line just catching small fish. And first chuck back over there, you get another big one. Yeah. Resting it, Dave, makes a huge difference. And the thing is, you've gone in and all you've done is just cup a few pellets in again. Yeah. Straight away. Yeah. Let them settle down again. Another one there. I'm sure you could probably do that 3 or 4 more times before they spook again. Nice one. Little carp. Okay, so the session's come to an end now. How do you feel it's gone? Based on like previous experience here, how do you feel this session's gone? I think it's in between the 2 winning days I had here. It's not a £100 day, but it's not a 17, £20 day. It's sort of, to win the section, probably £40 today, 40, £45 maybe. And I think I'll be very close to that at the end of 5 hours. Well, I mean, what's been interesting for me is just watching the way you're just nurturing it. All the time you're just nurturing it. And you don't leave very much bait to catch a reasonable weight here. It's been brilliant. It's been a pleasure to watch. It's been really good. Well, it's been a fantastic 3 days. I've really enjoyed being down here with 3 class anglers. What have I learned from this session? Well, Tom Pickering demonstrated the importance of attack. I mean, Tom just went out on a complete attacking session. He caught loads of fish. He went somewhere where he got £100 in mind, and that's the way he fished it. Des, on day 2, proved the importance of fishing with worm and castor on these sorts of venues. But what was interesting watching Des is that his second line, the line where he fished for roach and for rudd, was a really important line, because over the course of 5 hours, I doubt whether he could have kept catching tench for the whole duration. He showed me that he could probably catch 30 or 40 pound of silverfish on that close-in line. Today's session has been completely different again. Steve's nurtured this swim. I mean, he spoke about it at the start. He spoke about when he caught 100 and odd pound off this peg, and he also spoke about a more difficult day. Now, this day, as he's just described to us, has been different. He's nurtured it all the way through. I mean, I can't believe how little bait he's used, but there was always the opportunity there that if more fish turned on and more fish came into the swim, he could have put more feed in and gone for the bigger weight. So he always gave himself that chance as well. It's been a fantastic 3 days. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I'll see you again soon.